Hello everyone. Good evening, and happy Monday. You are tuned in to Live with the Coopers, and I am one of your hosts, Candace Cooper.
And I am Brandon Cooper.
And we are just so happy to have you guys here with us. And I'm actually putting his name over on my name. Forgot to change that out. But we're happy to have you guys here with us on this Monday. We know that you can be 1,000 other places, but you chose to tune in here, right here with us, with Live with the Coopers. I'm gonna give you guys a heads up right now. Whatever sickness I had, now I think it has now passed on over to Brandon Cooper here. So I'm starting to recover. I have my tea here with me. I have my lemons. So I got my Hall's cough drop. We So if you hear a cough or a sneeze or something, it's just because I'm still getting over whatever crud I have, okay? And I passed it on over here. You know, this relationship is sickness and health. So this is the sickness part of what it looks like. How you feeling?
Be smarter than me and make her go sleep in the living room or in the guest room
He
if this happens to y'all.
he just can't have enough of me. So we're learning that part. We're empty nesting in this space right now, and we do have a couple of the beds and sofas that somebody probably could have chose to sleep in, but he just couldn't get enough of me. So here we are
God.
now. But we're gonna get through tonight's episode. Again, I have my tea as is coffee, and actually that's really what you need for a really good conversation. So before we get into today's topic, we're going to tune in to the news. We got some news here for you today. Coop, what's going on in sports?
Okay, guys, so we'll start off with right now there is a big ordeal about the Jim Harbaugh, who is the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, the 3 game suspension. And if anybody's watching, they can kind of give me more news on that. But allegedly, um, he had they're saying that Michigan had a spy or somebody that was watching the signs
Oh my.
of other teams and using those signs against them, of course, I guess in competition on the field.
Okay.
So um, because of that, they have suspended Michigan's head coach for 3 games. Um, some people are saying that's not enough. Some people are saying if this thing is still under investigation by the time the regular season ends, that they should not be able to play in a bowl game. And then others, of course, are saying it's about the kids. Don't do that to those kids. But I also heard some good points that, hey, there are other teams that are pushing for those spots because Michigan is currently ranked number 3
Oh wow.
in NCAA.
Okay.
And so there are other teams that are currently pushing for those playoff spots, and they're saying, well, what about those kids? So anything to add, guys, to that as far as the stealing of the signs and all that kind of stuff and why he got suspended, please add it in the comment section. But that situation is under investigation right now, and so Michigan did play a game Saturday without their head coach. They won the game. Everybody was very emotional. I saw the black coach. I don't know his name, but it was a black coach that stepped up as the head coach for that game. Very emotional, crying the whole time. The players crying. It was very dramatic, and but you could tell they really love their coach.
I guess I'm confused because why would a coach give over their plays? He's being accused of giving another.
No, they had somebody spying on their signs.
Oh,
to learn.
To learn the stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and figure it
Okay.
out, and then utilize it against other teams.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got
Some
it.
kind
So
of
that's why the
styling or
coaches
something
like do
that.
this when they had like that
Yeah, they all covered
clipboard
up.
and they
Yeah,
all
yeah,
doing this
yeah.
on the sidelines. Okay,
So
I watched
everybody
that.
trying to figure that stuff out. So.
Okay, got it.
So it's a big deal, and so they're currently investigating that. But we'll see where it goes. But right now he's on suspension for 3 games, and again, some people are saying 3 games is not enough. It should be more. Should be more. Matter of fact, they're saying if it's not figure it out by the time the playoffs comes around. They should not be able to play in the playoffs. I see it kind of both ways. So I mean, it's one of those things where people have to figure that out. We'll see. Next, Colorado Buffaloes lost another close game, another close one, 34-31 against Arizona, and that was a hard-fought game. Again, you can see where Colorado needs help in the trenches. They got some dominant wide receivers, quarterback. I mean, they got some good players. They just need more help in the trenches, really. But they got 2 more games left, and they're gonna need to win both. They're right. They're currently, I think, 4-6, and they need 6 games, 6 wins to get to a bowl. And so they got 2 games, and this game this week is against Washington State, Friday 9:30. It's gonna be a tough game. It's not gonna be an easy game. They're in a tough conference this year. And then their last game is against Utah State, and Utah is ranked like 13th or something the last I checked. So they got a tough schedule. They really have a tough schedule, and they have pieces, but they just don't have the full arsenal yet. So good luck to them. We're behind you, Colorado. Hang in there. Texas, my Texas Longhorns, they won on Saturday, 29-26. They are currently, I want to say absolutely.
Let's get on.
Yeah, they are currently 9-1 and in first place in the Big 12. Bad part about Saturday, Quinn Ewers, our starting quarterback, did return, and he had a decent game. He was rusty at first, but overall he had a decent game. We was happy to see him back. But we lost our starting running back, and Jonathan Brooks has had an amazing season. I believed in Jonathan Brooks. I saw him in high school play, and I believed in him from the beginning. A lot of people was worried when our 2 running backs went to the lead this past season, rightfully so. But Jonathan has stepped in this year and had a great season. So this is going to be bad. ACL out for the rest of the season. C.J. Baxter, the true freshman, is probably going to be the starter. You got Jaden Blue, Keelan Robinson, and Savion Red. They'll all be stepping in probably to take some of these runs. But it's going to be hard to make up for Jonathan Brooks. It's going to be a lot more passing probably. So we'll see how it goes. That's a tough loss in a season where Texas really does have a chance to get into the playoffs. So they play Iowa State Saturday at 7 o'clock. So continue to wish them luck. My Dallas Cowboys, 49-17 over the New York Football Giants. CeeDee Lamb. Yes, Lord. Hold on. Keep them applause ready. CeeDee Lamb, our number 1 wide receiver, is the Dallas Cowboy. He's the first Dallas Cowboy in the Super Bowl era to record 600 receiving yards in a 4-game stretch. Alright. And he is the first receiver in the NFL to get 10 catches and 150 yards or more in 3 games in a row in league history.
Oh, wow.
So he made that record as well.
Oh, wow. And he's in what season is this for?
I want to say this is his 3rd season.
Yeah.
He's still a baby.
He's still a baby. Wow, good
He's
job.
definitely in his first contract. So, yeah, CeeDee Lamb is doing an amazing job. He's having a big-time season this year. So, very proud of my boy. Dallas Cowboys are 9-1, and they play the Carolina Panthers on Sunday.
Okay.
So, they're not 9-1. I'm sorry, the Cowboys are 6-3. I'm sorry. The Texas Longhorns are 9-1. Okay. So they play the Carolina Panthers on Sunday, so we're moving right on along.
All right. I'm surprised you didn't bring up the A&M coach.
A&M coach is fired.
$75 million.
Yes. Is it 75 or 76? It's one of them.
Something. Anything over 10. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Get fired, I guess. But then to take home over $70 million. Come on now. Man, yeah. I'd be fishing somewhere. Well, I don't fish, but I'd probably be fishing.
Doc Ashley says, it's pretty much a guarantee that he's still in signs, but I hear that's crazy common Maybe not to Harbaugh's level, but in today's world, it happens. I'm sure it do, Doc. Everybody's looking for an advantage. So anytime any way they can find a way to get an advantage, in sports now, there's so much money behind this stuff. I mean, to win, it's so much pressure to win that, yeah, it's no shock to me that people are trying to do things that gives them advantage and the opportunity to win. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, especially now, with the portal and everything that's happening in college football. Like Deion is changing the game. That whole problem with it, like you got coaches that have been fired in the middle of the season. I'm assuming it's always been happening, but now the stakes just seem to be higher, especially now that college players are getting paid. So that does change a lot. There's a lot more stakes and a lot more. They're seeing, just what Colorado is doing. The world is the college football is seeing just how much money can truly be made and to bring to that entire college.
Coach has been making his money.
Right, but now the players are, now everyone in the town, the community, the revenue that's coming in. I mean, everyone. Just imagine, everybody is now getting paid. So, I mean, come on now. This is changing. It's changing how we see college football. You guys, and so that's
it for me.
That's it for you. All right, so that's our sports news. You guys going right into, I have about 2 stories that I want to talk about this evening. One story is pretty interesting. Do you guys know Tamar Braxton? Y'all know the Braxton girls. So we all know Toni Braxton. You guys, Toni Braxton is just an amazing singer, and of course she has a whole family full of singers. And so Tamar Braxton, her youngest sister, is now on her Love and War tour. She's celebrating a 10-year anniversary of just being a songstress and being in the music industry. And so she's on this tour right now. So she calls herself trying to give Krishan Rock a favor. So she tells Krishan, come on, check out the show. I'm going to invite you out to the show this past weekend. So she comes out to the show, but Krishan took that as she thought Tamar was inviting her to come on to perform. Mm-hmm. So inviting you to the show and asking you to come on and perform are 2 totally different things. So Krishan comes up to the show, and then you guys listen. She decides she's going to act a plumb idiot. So she gets over to the show and allegedly slaps James Wright Chanel. Now, if y'all don't know James Wright Chanel is the Patty Pies guy. You remember, Coop, back in 2016-17 when Patti LaBelle released her Patty Pies, her pies. You remember the sweet potato pies at Walmart? People was lined up all over the world going and trying to buy these dang on Patty Pies. Well, it was because James Wright went insane about the Patty Pies. Now, if I wasn't sick, y'all, I would sing the way he sang, but I'm not gonna do it for you. But James Wright Chanel is now a backup singer for Tamar Braxton. So he's out there backup singing and doing his thing, and Krishan backstage hits and slaps the man, sends him to the ER, chipped his tooth, bloodied his nose. So the whole situation now, while we were preparing to come on this show, poor Tamar had to come out and apologize to her crew and so forth. All she was doing was inviting this young woman to come out to her show, and it turned out now Poe James Wright Chanel is at the dentist office having to get his tooth fixed.
A female did that to him?
Yeah, Krishan Rock. Now, I don't know too much about Krishan. Y'all might know Krishan. I don't know. Maybe y'all are fans of hers or know of her. But, so just say Krishan knows she done messed up all the way up. And so Krishan went live, and she was just calm, and she was just talking about she don't know what happened. And all of these people are now going live about what allegedly happened. But apparently Krishan is a firecracker. She's known for going and doing some stuff that she probably shouldn't. She's on that Zeus network. And so she's kind of new out in her career. But anyway, it's a whole ordeal, y'all. It's going down over at Instagram. On live, they are going in right now talking about this whole incident. So anyway, I just found that quite something. But going into other news, y'all, Keke Palmer. We're going to have to keep Keke Palmer in our prayers, Coop. Let me tell you. She, y'all, she came out. Y'all know Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer been around ever since we first found out. What is the movie that she did with
with Ice Cube?
No, not Ice Cube. She did a movie with Ice Cube?
Was it Keke Palmer?
Maybe so. I don't
When she was
know.
the quarterback?
Yeah, that one. That one was super cute. That one was super cute. Of course, you would know of a sports
talking
one.
about,
I'm
Keela and
talking
the Bee?
about when she was Akilah and the Bee.
Okay.
Yeah, when she was in Akilah and the Bee, y'all. You know, so I still know Keke Palmer as Akilah and the Bee, but y'all know she's a grown woman now, right? So she just recently had a baby, Leotis. I think we talked about it a month or so ago on our show. So she had the baby Leotis, and now she's alleging that the father of her child, Leotis, Darius Jackson, has been physically abusing her for the last 2 years that they've been in a relationship. And so here recently, and over the last weekend or so, Darius came over to the house uncalled. He didn't call, he just popped up over to the house. He ended up allegedly strangling her and basically getting abusive with her. So she gets on the phone and calls her mama. Okay, and her mama is clearly on the phone saying, if you don't get your hands off my child, this is what I'm gonna do. So anyway, it's getting, when your mama, her mama is Sharon, when her mama has to get involved, you already know it's getting real over there. So the moms are now going back and forth on, in text messages. Darius is putting it out there saying, I never abused anybody. The mom is saying, yes, not only did you abuse my daughter, but you've abused your sister. I mean, it's just all sorts of stuff coming out. But I tell you what, we've known Akilah and the Bee. We've known Keke Palmer all this time. And she's never had a whole lot of drama like this. And now, all of a sudden, her mom is getting involved now that she's had this baby. I tell you, it is just, it's really heartbreaking, to be honest with you, to see how, and it seems to me like it started with that Usher. When she went to the Usher concert. Everybody can't go to the Usher concert. I went to the Usher concert, and you seem to be fine with me going. But let me tell you, see, and let me tell you, I was very excited being at the Usher concert. Now, Usher didn't serenade me the way he did Keke Palmer and some of these other women. I have to go back. Maybe.
You don't qualify.
Let me
You
tell
don't
you
qualify.
I believe I qualify, for being serenaded by the great Usher. But anyhow, speaking of Usher, he's going to be, I believe, a Super Bowl performer.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, for sports. So I'm looking forward to that. We might need to get some Super Bowl tickets.
No, we ain't.
Yeah, we need some Super Bowl tickets.
Boy, them house notes.
So with that being said, you guys, we gonna keep Miss Keke Palmer and her whole family in our thoughts and our prayers for the baby Leotis and all involved, all parties. Hopefully they will be able to get a hold of this situation before it gets even more volatile. But with that being said, you guys, we're going to transition on into our topic for the day. So today's topic is guaranteed to be a good one. So with all of the thousands of people that we have tuned in right now, we're excited about today's topic, you guys. We actually put up a poll. I put the poll up kind of late. I meant to do it early in the day. The day got away from me. But we have a poll up on our page. So we want you guys to be engaged and we want you to comment. Please like, share everything here that we're talking about. But hey, we want you to be engaged. So make sure you're putting those hearts out there, liking it, telling us what you think about this topic. So today's topic is, I'd rather be real and rejected than fake and accepted. I'm going to say that again, Coop, for the people in the back. Okay? I'd rather be real and rejected, than fake and accepted.
Be quiet real quick.
All right. You saying I should pause real quick?
Yes, yeah. Just pause. That title, that topic alone, just the thought of it deserves a hand clap. It's just,
So real and rejected versus fake and accepted. Let me tell you guys something. There used to be this saying, fake it till you make it. Have y'all heard that saying before? We're going to fake it till we make it. What that meant was you got to do what you got to do in order to be able to get to the top of whatever it is that you're trying to get to. Whether that is a relationship where you're trying to fake it till you make it until you can get that someone, or whether it is a career opportunity, or maybe it might be a home or a house or whatever it is in life that you're trying to acquire. It used to be, I'm going to fake it until I make it, right? Now there's this whole thing. Coop even got a show about it, Saluting the Real. But one thing about being real is when you're truly being real and you're being authentic to yourself, oftentimes it's gonna come with rejection. Being real is not one of those things that's gonna maybe get you all the limelight all the time, right? You're gonna be rejected because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be looked at as an outsider, or maybe someone outside the box. So to me, real means being an authentic person. So authenticity, means you're true to your own personality, your values, and your spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under. Let me say that again. You're real and you're true to your personalities, your values, and your spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. You're honest with yourself and with others, and you take responsibilities for your mistakes, which is a big part of being real, right? That accountability piece.
Right.
But when we talk about being real, being real, it's going to come with some consequences.
Indeed it does.
You and I have talked about this all the time.
Yep.
And I'm not going to tell Coop's story. I'm going to let Coop tell his own story. But when Coop, ventured out to say, Candace, I'm just going to be real and I'm going to be my real self, it scared me. Because I'm like, Coop, your real self is going to be judged. You could be ridiculed. You might lose opportunities because you're being real. I told Coop when he said, I'm going to be my real self. I said, well, Coop, we have a track club. We have all these other businesses and affiliations that we're trying to grow and develop and evolve. And being your real self might make us lose out on some of those opportunities. Did I not say that?
Yep.
I said to Coop, I was like, showing the world, okay, that there's certain personalities, traits, or certain vices that you may have, such as vaping.
Yep.
Those type of vices are things that people will look at you, especially as a black male, and they're going to judge you on.
Yep.
These are conversations that he and I have had all the time. And I was like, so being real is going to come at a consequence. So if you're going to be real, you're going to have to learn how to make your own money, number one.
Yep.
Because there's not going to be employers that are out there. Sometimes when you're too real, those employers might say, well, hey, he doesn't really represent my brand. Or, would he know how to assimilate to our work culture? So I wanted to talk about this. This topic really resonates, I know, with us, because being real will also put you in a space to where you might lose out on opportunities. Would you agree?
Yeah. So working with these kids and working in government, it made me see things from a different perspective. You're trying to tell them all these things that they should do, they shouldn't do. Yet you're looking at things through your eyes, and you're not seeing, if you don't listen well, to how they're seeing the world. You're not paying attention to them. Once you start paying attention to how they're seeing the world, you start to understand that a lot of things that you feel are real, they look at those things and they think that's fake. It's fraud to me. Because they have no idea of how they would ever get to where you at. They have parents that aren't even attempting to guide them and wouldn't know how to guide them to where you're at. And so it becomes a trail of just constant history, consistent history from this kid. If you look at their parents, if you look at their grandparents, if you go back in their history, you will see that the problems, the issues, the mental health, the physical issues, whatever the behavior that this kid is having, it didn't just start with this kid. It started, with a great grandfather or a grandfather, and it passed down to the dad, or it started with a grandma and it passed down to a mom. And so as I'm seeing all this stuff, I had to the things that got me the best relationships with my kids didn't come out of no textbook. The things that got the best relationships with my kids when I was working at probation was being real with them about my situation and the fact that I actually knew some of the things that they were going through. That I didn't have the greatest life coming up myself. I was blessed. I never complained about my life. But I didn't have the greatest life either. And so once they understand that you can relate to some things, you got a better shot of reaching them. And that was it was at that point where you beginning to. Here's where it was too hard for me. I was creating that relationship with this kid, and I'm working for him, and I'm working for him, and I'm working for him. And don't get me wrong, I'm still doing my job. But when you went in there in the courtroom some kind of way, and the options wasn't there for that kid that you thought should have been there. Or if you went in there and after all that work, this family just beat you down as if, they didn't see you coming over there sitting in that room with that kid and really talking about things and playing his game with him and just spending time with him that even his dad ain't spent with him. Like you a mentor instead of a PO. when all that stuff was happening, this is where I said, man, slowly but surely. And then outside here coaching my own kids too, so slowly but surely I started getting to the point where, nah, I'm not going to play this game no more. And it was wearing me down, guys. You talking about, that's where I really started getting emotional. I started getting to the point where, I got to the point where I started crying in the courtroom one time. I knew I was done then. I knew I was done. I knew it was over. I knew it was over because it was just too much. I couldn't handle it anymore because you're dealing with all these emotions. You're caught in between, like, how do I play this person that's right down the middle, and I don't let it go too far this way. I don't let it go too far that way. And there are a lot of people that are very good at this. God bless you. I don't know how you wake up every morning and play this game, but it is playing the game. And you got to be able to play the game if you're going to continue to make money in that world. If you're going to continue to provide for your family in that world, you got to be able to play the game. Because there's politics in every single job out here. Mm-hmm. Every single job, there's politics. There's some type of politicking that you got to do. So I commend you all. I understand why people be quiet. I understand why they keep their head down. It's frustrating. When we were talking about some of the stuff that was going on with these schools, and I was beating it down and going back and forth and fussing about all this stuff. Trust me, I'm still not done with them. But I understand why some of these people would tear my inbox up, telling me all the things that were going down at these schools, but they wouldn't speak up for themselves. They're afraid they're going to get blackballed. Mm-hmm. They're afraid that the moment that they speak up, that you won't see another raise. You won't see it. And the moment they got enough to get you out of there, they get your ass gone. When you're gone, they make it hard for you to get jobs at other places. So I get it. Trust me, I understand. And when you make your mind up that being real is something that you're gonna do, you're gonna have a plan in place. You can't just up and just one day say, I'm gonna do this, and that be what you're gonna do, and you don't. I'm just gonna keep living like I'm gonna live, but I'm gonna be real and say what I want to say. Okay, well, that's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. So.
Well, and Coop, what you were talking about is like it was your testimony and your lived experiences that actually help to reach the kids.
Right.
You know, one thing about it is you might be trained on your job. You might go and get all sorts of education and get all kinds of certifications, right?
Yeah.
But then it's one thing to be able to touch people from a human perspective and to be able to say, hey, I know the shoes that you've been in because I've walked those same shoes myself. You know, and I think those were some of the challenges that you were having, is that you didn't feel like you were being as effective as you possibly could.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of, and so when we talk about being real, it was more so talking about, it came to a place to where with Coop and his personal story, everybody has their stories, but he didn't feel like he could be his authentic self on a position to where he was spending the majority of his day trying to make change. And if you're real about what you're trying to do, and if you're really trying to make change and touch young people, his whole perspective was, well, I'm not being effective in where I am, so I think it's time for me to go and build my own.
You can't do just 8 and 5. You can't do the 8 to 5. That cannot be the only thing you do. If you're serious about this, and you see some of the programs you're gonna see going on, and you like, that's mediocre, I can do better, then there's no way that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna find a way to do more, and I had to do more, and that's why our whole thing, our motto, we just do more. You know what I'm saying? I say all that for a reason. Everything I say, everything I do is intentional, guys. I know a lot of it seems like it's kind of like just rambunctious and just doing it off the muscle, just going off the head. Everything's got its reason with me. It's always thought out. It's always planned out. It might just seem like, he's crazy, but he's not. It's coming from a good place. It's just you gotta map it out. You gotta plan it out. And everything that I tell y'all, including these stories right here, are for a reason. Because there's somebody else out there that's thinking just like I was. And they're trapped. They're in a position where I don't know which way to go to express myself in a way where I can have the most effect. I can have the best effect on whoever you're trying to reach. But you at some point you're gonna really have to sit down and create a plan that's gonna put you in a position where you can be you. And
right.
And that's the only way you're gonna be able to do it. And I'm happy to talk to anybody that wants to do that,
And for me, we're talking about careers here, being real in the workplace versus being fake and accepted. I will tell you, most of the time, especially when you're working in some sort of professional or corporate environment, you're taught to assimilate. Especially if you want to go up the chain of command, you have to walk a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way. There are certain classes. For me, one of my main goals was I want to be an executive. I started in my career some 20-some years ago, and when I decided to transition over to a career in local government, my goal, or government public service work period, my goal was to be an executive. And I went to my mentors and I said, okay, what can I do to be an executive? Oh, you have to do this and you have to do this. Well, I went and I did that and I did this. Whatever it was that they told me to do, that is exactly what I did. But when I look back down the road 5 or 6 years, once I had arrived at that executive level position, and I look back down the road and I said, part of me doing all of the things that I had to do, I started to lose myself. And so once I started to lose that authentic part of me, even though I had made it to that executive level, it didn't feel right. Because once you have to get there, remember, going back to our definition, it talks about regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. So it is being true to yourself, your values, your spirit. So if my values tell me that I am in this position to be a public servant, and I am there to serve the people in that community role, and then once I get to that table, if I'm being asked to do otherwise, then if I were to go along with that, then cool, that's being fake, right? And so for me, that's when I think, regardless of that kind of pressure, because especially in this executive leadership role, most folks are gonna do what they need to do in order to stay in the role. And sometimes staying in the role is sometimes you're gonna have to do some things in that role that you would not necessarily want to do.
Absolutely.
But you have to do in order to stay there.
I figured it out at this point, and y'all don't have to say it, cause I know I know it don't feel good. Anybody that's in a role that's making substantial money, you've been asked to do something that you didn't want to do. You didn't necessarily agree with. Probably really went against your values. You've been asked to do some things you didn't want to do. And I know you have. I know you have because I've talked to too many people now, and now that I'm on this side, that have told me so. And so, look, and this is why when we talk about politics, this is why we talk about all these high-ranking positions in this country. Going all the way up to the president of the United States. There ain't no president that got in there that did not have to sell his soul in some kind of way. He had to sign off that he was going to take care of this and he was going to take care of that for the back and the support of these people over here or these people over there. It's just the way it works, People can disagree all they want to, but we know this is true. It's on the same. It's the same in local government. It's the same in all these local jobs. It's you move up. People are going to say, "I'll help you get this if you do this for me." Quid pro quo type situations.
That's
What I'm saying?
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
This is what they're gonna say. And you can't tell me because even in my little jobs, even in this 501c3, I've told y'all with the honey badgers, do you know how many palms I had to grease? I ain't even talking about nothing major, guys. We talking about just renting out facilities. Do you know how many palms I have to grease? So when people get to talk about money, do you really want to have this discussion with me? Because you have no idea. Some of the same people, guys, that we have to grease palms plus pay what we pay and give scholarships to kids to their school. I see them this weekend. They have the little football games over there every weekend. Every weekend! They have little football games at the very schools that we're begging to get to have a track meet. I got all these people that come down here from all over the country. And I can't get it for nothing. But they have football games over there every weekend. You can't make this stuff up, guys. I'm trying to tell you the truth. So, there is a level of, and I'm not saying that other people got to do anything. I'm telling you that I have to do certain things to make this happen. It don't come easy for me. Nothing down here in the Austin area comes easy for me. It never has. So that's why, but the crazy part is I've gotten stronger and stronger every single year.
That's right.
Since I decided to step up and be me.
Yeah.
And no matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter how hard they make it for me, somehow, some way, every single year, we make this thing happen.
Absolutely.
You gotta believe in you. You gotta believe in you. The moment you stand up and you say salute the real, the moment you stand up and say that it's gonna be about you telling your truth and you sticking up for what you believe in, no matter what anybody else say, the moment you step up and say that, you gotta stick to it. And you can't let nobody stop you. It's gotta be about everything that you believe and how you're gonna accomplish those things. And you can't let nobody get in your way. And you can't give a damn about what anybody thinks. If you vape like multiple friends that are on this damn thing with me right now are doing at the house while they're listening to me or smoking their cigar. Some of them smoking their stuff, the other stuff. Not mad at them. It's their business. Okay? But I choose to come on with my little candy vape and vape with y'all. I'm not hiding shit. Alright? If you want to drink your whiskey at your house like I do, It's your damn place. It's your bottle of whiskey. Is somebody gonna tell you can't have a drink? You not bothering nobody.
And see, that's
But because I decided to have mine live with you guys, oh, you can't. No. See, and they doing the same thing. They sit back watching Yellowstone and watching the Duttons, just like I was. Have they drink?
not the Yellowstones.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Oh, Yellowstone.
Yeah.
No S. No S.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they watching Yellowstone. Alright? And they watching Dutton. And they having their whiskey. Just like Kevin Costner. Damn, I love Kevin Costner. And they having and I have my whiskey with Kevin Costner. But because I choose to have mine live with y'all, I'm not the coach you should follow. See? That's it. We have been trained to think this way.
That's where when you become a leader, what does society say? Now come on now.
We have been trained to think
what
that
they
you
say.
can have a drink and let everybody else know. Keep that drink to yourself.
Preachers,
Pastor!
teachers.
Look here! My pastor, if he want to have a drink and now one of y'all want to have a drink with him, he can come have one with me any day. Because I know what he go through. I know what he got to deal with when y'all call and tell him to come see Sister Marie, your third, fourth cousin that he ain't never met before. Because she got, what she got? She gangrene. And you ain't never, he ain't never met her. He was supposed to take his wife to the Cheesecake Factory. Because his wife don't mind going to the Cheesecake Factory. Alright? Saturday night. But you tell him he got to come up to the hospital and pray over Sister Marie. Because she don't have a pastor. She don't have a church home. And here comes my pastor. Now he taking his ass up to that church. Or he taking his ass up to that hospital. They'll go pray over Sister Marie. Somebody that ain't never gave $1 to his church. Somebody that ain't never put $1 on his Cadillac. Somebody ain't never put $1 on damn church suit he got. He coming to see Sister Marie now. And guess who we gonna have to deal with when he get back to the house? That mad wife that I have to deal with and you have to deal with. But you don't have to go through that because you don't have those issues that he have. But if he have a drink, you want to say he ain't fit to do God's work because he sit there and have a drink. Man, y'all full of shit, man. That's trash to me. That's trash. You gonna tell that man he can't have a drink because he's supposed to be, he ain't human. See? Y'all forget that he sinned too. He ain't God. That man got feelings and emotions just like you. He got a wife that want time with him just like you.
So
My bad.
Yeah. We gonna get Coop time to calm down.
This topic so deep. I can go so many ways with this topic. Y'all don't even want to hear it all. Y'all ain't got time to hear it all.
I'm playing the Jeopardy music to give him a little time to cool off, but apparently he can't even hear. So you guys, being real, and being your authentic self. When we talk about authenticity, what we're also talking about is speaking your opinions in an honest and a healthy way, Coop. Because some people might say, well, how is it that you can be real in the workplace but still be able to bring your check home? Okay, because at the end of the day, everybody can't go out and be an entrepreneur. So how can you be real in the workplace, as we talking about the workplace, or and then also be able to make sure you bring your check to the house? So I actually looked it up, and it talked about. You all right?
Shit. Whatever you looked up is a lie. Whatever you looked up.
What it talked about is speaking your opinions honestly and in a healthy way.
You can't do that.
Making decisions that align with your values and beliefs.
You can't do that.
Decisions that align with your values and beliefs. Well, because I guess a
You
lot of
can't
it
do
outside
that.
of your control. Pursuing your passions.
You can't do it.
Listening to the inner voice guiding you forward.
You can listen, but you can't follow.
Allowing yourself to be vulnerable and open-hearted.
Oh no, you better not do that.
And setting boundaries and walking away from toxic situations.
Setting boundaries and walking away from toxic. Now do that one.
That one
You can do that one.
is my testimony. When I started in my career, okay, setting boundaries.
But
and
hold on. Let me stop you.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. Because if you decide to be real, you're going to be walking away from every one of them.
Absolutely.
You're going to be walking away from every one of them. The moment you decide to be real,
Yeah.
you can't stay there no more. You can't do it no more. Because it's all fraud. It's all bullshit. Everybody's about themselves. Everybody is about their money. Everybody is about this job. If you break your leg tomorrow, they're going to be calling you and asking you when you going to get back to this goddamn job. If your mama died tomorrow, they're going to be trying to get you back next week. And guess what? If you died tomorrow, your position would be filled come Monday.
You guys, y'all know I'm suffering from this here.
Your position would be filled come Monday. They don't give a damn about you. But you gotta take care of your family. It is a position.
Being real is not gonna pay your bills.
It ain't gonna pay your bills. You gotta be able to pay your bills. It is truly a change in your entire life to say, I am going to be my authentic self every day, 24/7. I made that decision Guess what, guys? Now, guess what? I went from dressing in a suit every day to cleaning toilets. That's how low I went. That's my business, but that's how low I went. Because when I made it up that I was going to be real, I made it up that I knew that at that point I was going to have to decide to make money any way I could to take care of my family. Because at that point, it's a good chance I wasn't going to be able to get the same jobs that I've been having for the last 19, 20 years. Mm-hmm. It's a good chance. Now, I could go get them jobs, but I just have to go somewhere else. But I've created things here now that hold me here. So I got to figure out how to make money here, but still be me. Because I can't go from being who you see right now back to being that quiet dude that's just going to let people step on. Nobody's stepping on me. Ain't nobody stepping on me. Ever. Ever again. Nobody's going to step on me.
Coop, they say you feeling better now.
No. See, it's the topic. It's the topic. The topic brings come out of me. The topic brings. I'm gonna be coughing like a damn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be coughing like hell in a minute. But the topic brings it out of me because you can't start becoming to be the person that I am now and then go backwards. But you can't half-ass be this person either. That stuff that Candace read, other than one or two of those, don't listen to none of that shit because it ain't gonna work. You got to be this person and be this person only, or it ain't gonna work. It's gonna eat you up inside.
Yeah, that's the part.
It's gonna eat you up inside. I sleep better than I ever have. Mm-hmm. I might have less, but I sleep better than I ever have because I'm being me every single day. And when I get to do what I do for those kids, when I get to do what I do for my family, and when I get to do those things knowing that I'm me, 100% me, can't nobody take that away from me. Because it's in here. This is who I am. Alright? And I wake up and I smile and I go out there and I do what I do and I don't worry about a goddamn thing nobody got to say. Boy, ain't that good? Ain't it good? It's like I'm living like the people. What's the people out there that get naked? The people.
Naked and afraid?
No, the naked people out here. Down the
hippie
hollow. Hey, like I'm living like a hippie. I'm living like a hippie, but I'm not there yet. I can't wait till I don't want to see it.
That's freedom. What you're describing is freedom.
Oh, man.
It's peace.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I can't wait. I don't want to see it because it ain't attracted to me. But I can't wait till I can hang around women that got bushes under their arms.
Oh, my.
It ain't attracted to me.
Yeah, you always take it.
See it. But they are free. They free. I be scared that they musty. I don't know. I ain't never hung around them. But I can't wait to be around them. I can't wait till I got enough money set aside that I can be around women. I can just play dominoes with them. And they raise their arm and they got a fro under their arm. I can't wait. I can't wait to be around that. Don't you know that's free? That's free. I can't wait to be able to walk out my back door and step to a pond with flip-flops on and a cowboy hat and just throw a reel as far as I can and set it out there and walk back in my house and have an ice cold beer and watch a western in a jock strap if I want to. Just wear a jock strap all around my backyard and some boots all day. I can't wait to be able to do it.
Well, there goes my notes.
Because it's freedom. It's freedom. I don't want to deal with people that tell me I gotta be this or that no more. I don't want to deal with that. So we played your game. As long as we had to play your game. But the moment I got myself in a position where I could take care of myself and I didn't have to play your game no more, I told you to take that game and shove it so far up something that don't normally get to be seen by people. That I wouldn't have to worry about it no more. Because I'm free from that game. I'm free from that game. Yeah. I don't got to play that game no more. When you finally get to this position in your life, life is going to become so much better. Life is going to become so much better because you ain't going to have to worry about being the first one in there to get your eyebrows done come Saturday morning. You ain't going to have to worry about getting your toenails and your fingernails done every single week because you're trying to keep up a certain standard. You ain't got to worry about doing all this stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with no NyQuil, Pam. This is who I am.
Cool. My uncle said, now I don't know about the women with the
I want to see it. Look up. Hey, I'm not attracted to it, I promise you. I don't want to see no woman, but I do want to be like them. They not worried. Hear me out what I said. They're not worried about what you think about their unknowns. Because they living free.
Yeah.
They living free. They might smell like Funyuns and all, but they not worried about what you think. They not worried about what you think, man. Life is good for people like that.
That's
you know
it. I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm searching.
They might be curled back so far they end up stuck back in their foot. But they people living free, man. They ain't worried about all this shit. They ain't up here like this everywhere they go. Trying to figure out which fork is for salad, which fork is for the food. Man, they ain't got time for all that shit. They didn't even wash their hands before they started eating. Them people chilling, man. They living.
Well, listen.
I ain't got time for that shit, man.
Well,
all this stuff is, whoever told us we're supposed to be living like this is trash. Because you're about to, if we're not careful, this man is about to get back in office that's got pending cases right now. And he can do whatever he want to do. But your $45,000 ass a year gotta be up like this everywhere you go. Man, get out of here, man.
What you're saying is the stakes are too high right now.
For us, it's trash.
But for us, just trying to survive, you know, the stakes are honestly too high. And if you are blessed to be in a position, you know, to where you can help others, and you're up there and you're not doing so, this is what Cooper's talking about. You know, not being in a position to where you can't really even be free and true to yourself, and you can't sleep at night. And I'm gonna tell you, I think everybody on this live, they laughing. I know, you know, you cracked a couple of jokes here tonight, but they ain't really jokes.
Y'all think that's jokes to me? Okay, all right.
The thing is that I think we're all in search of freedom, and we're all in search of peace. And if you cannot find that peace within and that freedom within, then you're not living in your true self. And the whole thing of fake it till you make it, you know, because that used to be a saying that, coming up. Hey, we're going to fake it till we make it. We're going to do this what we have to do until we have to get what we can do. All that kind of stuff right now, you guys, the stakes are too high. We have children that are looking up to us. We have, like you said, politics are changing, y'all. We just had COVID where people were quarantined in the house. It's just time out for the fakeness, and we have to start.
It's been going on.
We have to start being real. You guys, social media.
Y'all had uncles. I know I ain't the only one. Y'all had uncles sitting over there in that amen corner. We talking about these jobs. This been going on since we were young. Y'all had uncles sitting over there in that amen corner. They had gout over there. They had gout. They could barely stand up, but they were still standing strong. In there with that suit on. Didn't want nobody to know they were hurting. Them people were hurting. Them people were going through things. But they were trying their best to put on as if nothing was going on. That's bullshit. I commend them for being at the church when they got gout. I commend them. But at the same time, you sitting over there struggling. And you ain't took them shoes off. You should have took them shoes off and been walking around barefoot in that church house. But they so worried about somebody saying, oh, Lord, Brother Johnson done took off his boots. Brother Johnson got a hole in his sock. Brother Johnson can barely stand up in them old messed up feet and ankles and knees. But you worried about the fact that he took his shoes off. It just, I've watched these people for years, man, on all levels. All levels. At the church, at the jobs, out here with the clubs. Don't get it twisted. In the club too. Y'all fake till you make. Hold on. Okay. I see that. We gotta get this right now. Okay. Alright. Cause people out in the club love to talk about the bougie people in the jobs and all that kind of stuff. And trust me, I don't like bougie motherfuckers either. But let's get this straight right now. In the club. Some of y'all done spent your whole check on that dress you got on tonight. Some of you Negroes went and spent your whole check on the box Chevy, the whole check on the paint job, the whole check on that fade that you got. You paid $100 for your haircut, but your child support $6,000 behind. Nigga, you done messed up too. Y'all been faking it till you make it too. So you can't talk about the bougie ones, cause your trash ass ain't taking care of your business either.
They want to buy the bar out.
We can go on every level
but
when
not
it comes
take
to
care of your
this being
kids.
fake. When you want to go buy the bar, you want to make it rain. You done made it rain, and you can't even pay your parking ticket at the end of the night.
Going and living at home with your mama.
You living at home with your mama. You ain't on your mama to cook you a biscuit in the morning, but you can't give her nothing on the bills. Boy, I done saw all this. I done saw it. I don't need nobody to tell me the story. I done seen it. That is faking going on every level. Every level. Every level. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. Some of y'all ball till you fall. You ball till you fall. You act like you got it all together. But you get more government assistance than I get in a check. Now, if you know how to pull that off, I'm not mad at you. But don't act like you Mr. Get Bad out here. When you getting help and I gotta do it on my own. Hell, if anything, help me out. Shit, I'll chuck you something on it. Shit, ain't this rough out here? All I'm trying to say is, man, we are all going through some things out here. And we're all trying to find our way to make it, take care of our families, but at the same time, be real as we. Most of us. There are some people who don't give a damn about being real. There are some people out here, and this topic is coming, and you best to believe when it comes, it's going to come hard. The topic about, because we're going to go real deep when we talk about the ones that get in there, and they'll do anything to get in that motherfucker. They'll do anything to get in there. I'm going to say that again. Y'all ain't hear me. They'll do anything to get in there.
To get into that job.
And they will pull everybody that was ahead of them or even close to them back. See, you see, you pull yourself off by pulling other stuff back. You know, When you're swimming, ain't you throwing water backwards?
Yeah.
See? Right? When you're swimming, you pulling water. You tread water, you pulling water backwards. Okay, that's the same thing they doing to people. They pulling them people back.
In order for them to move
Come on now, good old crabs.
Yeah.
Good old crabs. They at the bottom of that bucket. They gonna
Yeah.
keep pulling themselves up to the top.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of us. My people that do that. They good at it. They real good at it. They real good at it. They do it better than anybody. Oh boy, they claws is strong. They grab you and they pull you and they gonna pull you all the way down to get up where they want to be. And that's sad. That's sad. But that's it's been like that since the beginning of the time for us. And it has not changed, and it's not going to change. But how do we address it? The ones that do have something in here, you know, that actually want to be right with ourselves and right for people. How do we change that for us? And that's a question that I can't answer for you, but I can answer it for me. And I answered it for myself by saying, I am willing to do whatever it takes to be able to provide for my family the best that I can, but also be the person that I need to be for my health, for my conscience, for my heart. I had to make that change for me. This wasn't about Candace. This wasn't about Kobe.
That's right.
This wasn't about Jay. This was about me. Because until I did what I had to do for me,
As a man,
I could not be who I needed to be for them.
that's it. That's it. And with that, we want to thank you for tuning in. But seriously, I have given up on my points. You
my bad.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. No. I don't want to keep the people. This was good. This was good because these are some of the conversations that Coop and I have at the house all the time. And to be honest with you, you know, Coop took that leap of faith some years back to step out on his own because, you know, again, he was in an environment that he just didn't think aligned with who he was and where he is. And I'm in that space right now. I'm in that space right now where I just left an environment that didn't work well for me. And so now as I transition into this 100% entrepreneur space, but also still being open, you know, to maybe even join another agency, if that so happens, we have to take and learn that whatever table that we're at, we also have to be our true and authentic self, which means that we have to remain true to who we are so that we honestly will be able to sleep at night. And there's some spaces that will never align with your principles and your values and your morals, and you know those spaces. Whether it's like, you know, you talked about there are churches and clubs and organizations and, you know, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But if it doesn't align and if it doesn't fit who you are or where you're trying to go, then why in the world are you even going through the motions? You know? And the thing about it is when you choose realness, when you choose being your authentic self, oftentimes it might come with consequences, and that may mean a loss of opportunity. It also may mean judgment. But you have to understand and be what? What did the definition talk about? You have to know and recognize your mistakes, but also understand that, hey, you know, you talked about the women, you know, with this hippie living their best version of themselves and being the hippie, walking around with no shoes, being free and peace. I do too. I do too. And, you know, and I really sat down during the pandemic because that was our opportunity to reset. You guys, if you went into the pandemic and came out of the pandemic the same damn person, then I really do, you know, or maybe you already was your true self. I don't know. But
that $5,000 chain you got, that $2,000 coat you got, that shirt you just bought for $250, did any of that shit matter when the pandemic was going on?
No.
Did none of it matter? It didn't matter because nobody could see you. Your $250 shirt ass was sitting at the house. Half of you barely had a haircut.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking finer things though, Coop.
I'm not knocking them either. But
I love it.
I envy these people because they're already in a position situation where they don't care about those things.
Yes,
I
and
just-
also doing it to please others or doing it because you have to fit in a certain crowd or
who
something.
are you doing it to please?
My thing is, and that's the point.
Who are
That's
you
the
doing-
point.
who
That's
are
the,
you doing it
that's
to
the
please?
fake part, right? So part of me, Coop and I, we'll get dressed up. I told him we'll get dressed up, and as he say, look like brand new money. You know, we love dressing up so every so often and going and splurging and spending, and don't get me wrong, and buying a nice pair of shoes and really splurging on ourselves. But you're doing it for you. It's a difference in when you're doing it for you versus being able to do it because you're trying to please somebody else. Oh, I gotta move and live in this neighborhood. I have to drive this certain car. My kids have to go to this type of school because I'm trying to fit in with the Joneses.
That one that always got a one up. If y'all got that friend or that relative.
It's
that always
exhausting.
got a one up you.
I mean, that life is exhausting.
Or are you that relative?
Yeah,
That's
trying
got
to compete, and
That's
you
got a
know,
one up. You got to one up everybody in your family. You know. God damn.
and you
guys.
know you're not in
It
that.
gets old.
You're
It
not
gotta
in
get
that
old after
tax
a while.
bracket yet.
It
You know
gotta-
what I mean?
it gotta
You might
be.
be getting there, but you're not in that tax bracket yet. And you over here trying to competing and comparing and all this type of stuff. That's exhausting. You know. So don't get me wrong. I like dressing up every so often. I like, getting out and spending money and shopping every so often and traveling and doing these types
There's
of things.
nothing wrong with it.
It's nothing wrong with it at all. But if you're doing it to please other people or you're doing it for a certain status, that's what we're talking about, because that's exhausting. And it's no way that you can keep that type of behavior up. Because let me tell y'all something. When I'm here at the house, I tell everybody, I probably look like a homeless lady. People come over to my house, Cooper's like, you gonna put on some clothes? No, because this is who I am. I literally wake up like this, and this is how I'm going to be when I'm at home in the peace and privacy of my home. Now, we enjoy company. We entertain often. But, hey, I'm not going to go in there and put on makeup and fix myself up, because at the end of the day, this is my safe place. This is my house. And so if you're going to come in, we're going to come in and sit down. We're going to drink some tea together and dine and have us a great time. But I may be sitting over in my moo-moo dress. Just to tell you the truth. Because if that's how I'm feeling that day, that's how I'm feeling that day. So, the episode today was entitled, I'd rather be real and rejected than fake and accepted. And let me tell you guys something. I have, in the last several years, I've actually been at the bedside of individuals that were transitioning from this earth. And I would say probably about 3 to 4 individuals that I've actually sat down and as they took their last breath, not including fifth was our dog, Cholo, I tell you, Lord rest in peace. But I've had the opportunity to observe this beautiful process, this transition out of life. And every single person that I've had the opportunity to be there with as they're transitioning out of this life and going on to the next, none of them asked about anything material. None of them asked about prized possessions or anything of that nature. They wanted to be around people that they truly love. Some of them held out for people that they truly love. And I say all of that to say that in this big scheme of life, no matter, how you decide and choose to live your life, the most important thing is being authentic to who you are. There is no other version out there. There may be people that look like you, but there is no other person on this earth that is you. And then when you're yourself, you can also surround yourself around people who love you and support you, and they're gonna be there for you because they're supportive of who you are. And I say that because, you guys, there's so many people out here that are trying to fake it just to fit into certain spaces and circles. And you guys, it's time out for that. It's time out for that. When you agree. Yeah. So I encourage you guys, and I understand some of us have to fake it till we make it, and I get that, and I understand
make your
that.
money.
Make
your money,
it.
take care of your family.
Achieve it. Do what you got to do.
But in the entire time, guys, have a vision of where you want to be in the next 5 years. Have a vision of where you want to be in the next 10 years. And start putting a plan together now to help yourself get to that point.
where I made a mistake at is I allowed it to get to the point to where I just couldn't handle it no more, and then I went into deciding to do something else. And don't get me wrong, we're doing fine, but if I would have been preparing myself by having something going on the side that was already being in the works, I could have had a smoother transition, and it wouldn't have been so hard on me to have to try to pull this thing off and learn on the fly something totally new. For y'all that been working in a place 15 plus years, y'all know how tough it is to change to something totally different, man. It's hard. You've gotten into a routine, and to go into something totally different, it kicked my ass. It's still kicking my ass. But at the same time, I'm free. I'm free.
And you can't buy freedom, and you cannot buy peace. And when we live in a space where
my blood pressure ain't been that low.
Yeah, where mental health and is real. And so, from your physical to your mental health, you have to take care of you. Part of being free, part of being peaceful, part of being real is also part of being healthy. And health is wealth, as they say. So one thing that I can say on my notes here is that when you pursue your passions and you're being your authentic self and you're setting those boundaries and not aligning yourself with things that do not value you, that's when you can see your true happiness. That's when you find that true happiness with it, which is always have been within. So, with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and close out this episode. You guys, please keep us in your thoughts. You see, I have my plate of lemons. We have my tea here. You guys, I don't know what this crud is that's going on in Central Texas, but it is just like got a hold of us right now, and it will not shake loose. So, I have a speaking engagement this Friday. I am trying to lemon up and get my tea up. I'm excited this Friday. Coop, I'm going to be speaking in the same conference as Ben Crump. And so a lot of other people at the National Forum for Black Public Administrators. So I'm excited about being there this Friday.
Keep it real.
And I'm going to talk about leadership in the new era. And so I'm excited about that. I'm also going to do a soft launch of my business, you guys. I have a consulting firm that I'm launching on this Friday. I'm only going to do it a soft launch at that conference. Yay! Yay for me, y'all. I'm so excited about this. So my own independent show is going to be coming very soon. Once I get my consulting firm off the ground. I tell you, this illness is kind of holding me back a little bit. But you guys, we have some exciting things coming up. If you are just now tuning in, be prepared. We have merchandise. We have some merch coming. Coop and I have been talking about it. We want to get some tumblers and t-shirts and all this kind of good stuff, and we're going to continue to build our brand. I'm hoping that I'll get additional clients that I can also help to do podcasts and other things to help build their brand and get themselves out there. But you guys, I am just excited because we're ending this year of 2023 living in our free, peaceful selves. And I do plan on continuing to shave. I'm not going to not shave, Coop.
No. I want you to shave. I don't. Yes. I'm not saying I wanted my woman to have no bush on her arms. That wouldn't be good. I just envy the people that can do it, and it ain't even no thing to them.
Now I'm gonna walk around with no shoes, though. I do that, honey. Because let me tell you, after the pandemic, I realized that them heels walking all day, that just ain't it for me. So I might be barefoot a little bit. But anyway, you guys, I don't want to keep us going. You guys enjoy your Monday evening. Hopefully share, like y'all. We're trying to get our YouTube space up, so please go there and do that. If you like this episode, please share the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. You have tuned in to Live with the Coopers.
Salute.